Hey everyone, today we're making a homemade classic pepperoni pizza from scratch. So to get started on the dough, we're going to go ahead and take a half cup of lukewarm milk. And to the milk, we're going to go ahead and add in 1 teaspoon of some sugar, and we're going to give it a stir. Now we're adding 2 teaspoons of some active dry yeast, and we're going to let this set for at least 5 minutes so it can bloom. So while we wait for that to bloom, we're going to work on the rest of our dough. As usual, the measurements are going to be in the description box, so make sure to check there for the written recipe. Here I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour plus a third cup. Now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of some baking powder and 1.5 teaspoons of some salt. Now we're going to go ahead and whisk that until it's fully incorporated. Now we're going to move on to our wet ingredients. So here I have 3/4 of a cup of some plain yogurt. To the yogurt, I'm going to go ahead and add in 1 large egg, and I'm just going to go ahead and whisk this up until it's fully incorporated. It will look a little curdled, so don't be worried too much about that. So now I'm going to go ahead and combine my wet ingredients and my dry ingredients, plus the yeast mixture that we made at the beginning. And you're going to go ahead and take a fork to bring it all together. I wouldn't recommend using, a whisk or anything, because the dough will get stuck inside of the whisk. So just use a fork. It makes life a lot easier that way. Now we're going to go ahead and get in there with our hands, and then we're just going to go ahead and knead it. Take it out of the bowl and knead it until a smooth ball of dough forms. Now we're going to go ahead and put this in a brand new bowl, and we're going to cover it with some plastic wrap and put it in a warm area for 2 hours to rise. I put it in my microwave. It was turned off, of course. You just want to put this in an area that, the temperature is a little higher, so you could put this in your oven turned off or wherever it's nice and warm. So after 2 hours, it should look something like this. Go ahead and remove the dough from the bowl, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. So I added a little bit of flour to make the dough a little easier to work with. Just going to go ahead and start to form the dough. So I'm using a rolling pin to roll it out into a large circle. You're going to want to roll it out to a little larger than you want your actual pizza to be, because it does shrink in the oven. So I put it onto a flat pan. I'm using a pizza pan. And then I also put a little bit of flour on the pan so it could slide off really easily. Now we're going to go ahead and brush it with some olive oil. So here I have 3 tablespoons, and you're going to want to cover the entire pizza, including the crust, so that it doesn't get, too dry or anything like that. So here I have some pizza sauce. Before I've used marinara, and it works just as fine, so you could use marinara if that's all you have on hand. I don't like my pizza to be too saucy, so this is the amount that I added. So for my cheese, I'm using fresh mozzarella. You can use shredded. I prefer using shredded, but this is all that I had on hand. So I just placed that on the top of my pizza. And then now we can go ahead and add on whatever types of toppings you want. I use pepperoni. You can add olives, mushrooms, whatever you like on your pizza. And you're going to bake it at 450 for 9 to 12 minutes until it's done. And it will look really nice and bubbly, and just let it cool before slicing. And this is how it looks when it's done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers!